So the second fight that I'm going to be watching in UFC Fight Night Nashville is Jessica Penne versus Danielle Taylor. The biggest reasons why I'm watching this, just to let you know, is I've followed Jessica Penne's career extensively since The Ultimate Fighter, and I watched a couple of her fights in Invicta. And also the only reason why I became a fan of her was because she trains at the gym that I used to train at, which is Alliance MMA in San Diego. So she trained there, and I knew people that knew her, and they would invite me over to watch the UFC fights whenever she was fighting. So I kind of started to become a fan of her through acquaintances, because a lot of my friends from the gym watched her, and and would root for her, and I was like, man, why not? She trains at the gym that I train at. Why not root for her? So I followed her career, and I mean, it just sucks that she's lost two back to back against. I mean, if you can make an argument, they're the strongest hitting strawweight and the best strawweight. Jessica Andrade was the strongest hitting strawweight, and Joanna Jędrzejczyk is the best strawweight. But one thing one thing I would like to take away from the beating that she received from Joanna was there was one like glimmer of hope that I saw that could help her out in the Taylor fight, was that in this, I believe, first or second round, I don't know, I rewatched the fight, and Joanna Jędrzejczyk throws an overhand right, and Joanna throws that overhand right, and then Jessica, what she does is that she slips under her overhand right and immediately goes for the takedown. And that's key, and if she can execute that again all the time against Danielle Taylor, because Danielle Taylor, all she has is an overhand right. So that's one of the key victories that I see to her. If she can slip that overhand right and take Danielle Taylor down to the mat and hold her there. Granted, Jessica Penne is a smaller strawweight because she used to fight at atomweight like Michelle Watterson, and she was a champion at Invicta at atomweight. So this whole the hard thing that it is to gauge on Jessica Penne is that she's only fought twice in the last 2 years, once in 2015, one in 2016. So it's kind of hard to gauge on that, because she could have gotten better, but I don't think she could have gotten like striking pedigree like so fucking high, you know what I mean? But that's one of the two things that I know. Her Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is always going to be great because she is a black belt. So and she trains that extensively. She trains that a lot, actually. So that's one of the things that I see that she can beat Danielle Taylor in. Is Danielle Taylor, all she does is throw an overhand right, and if in this year she's gotten bigger, and that's why she took the year off, because she wanted to heal from her nose and get bigger and become a bigger strawweight like Michelle Watterson did. That'd be perfect. She could come in a little bit more heavier, and probably once she's on the ground, successfully hold her there, because Danielle Taylor is a big strawweight no matter how you look at it. So those are the two things. And then one other thing, a glimmer of hope that I saw in the Jessica Andrade fight is that she needs to be able to use her reach to kind of bait Danielle Taylor into stepping in, because if she's just marching forward, Danielle Taylor's gonna fuck her up. So the one glimmer of hope that I saw in Jessica Andrade is in the second round, Jessica stalks her down, and Jessica Andrade stalks her down, and Penne lands a solid 1-2 with full extensions, a 1-2, solid 1-2, like fully extending her arm, so she was able to keep her at reach. And it was like, wow, why doesn't she do that all the time? Like, that was perfect. And of course, then Jessica Andrade just blitzed her and just fucking started bam, 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 body hook, and then upstairs. So that's one thing that she needs to be able to use her reach more to invite Danielle Taylor to come and throw that over, to like blitz her and throw that overhand right. And then once she invites her to bring her in, then fucking slip it and take her down and submit her. Another thing that I think she needs to improve on is that I feel like against Jessica Andrade, Penne was very, very passive, and she cannot do that against Danielle Taylor, because Danielle Taylor is an already passive fighter. So if it's two passive fighters going at it, usually the one that outstrikes wins. So Danielle Taylor has a better striking game than Penne, so that's how she'll lose. So she needs to be aggressive, and she needs to not be afraid to get hit, because against Jessica Andrade, she was very scared of getting hit. Granted, she just got her nose busted up by the champ. I believe she broke it and shattered it and everything. So against Jessica Andrade, you can tell that she was scared to engage Jessica Andrade, and she kept covering her face all the time because I believe she was scared of getting her nose busted up again. So one thing that you can never do in sports is that play a sport or fight with worry that you're gonna get injury. With worry that you're gonna get an injury, because you're not gonna play to your fullest, and you're not gonna fight to your fullest, because you're just gonna be constantly scared that you're gonna get injured. What's the point of playing or fighting if you think you're gonna get injured? You should expect that you could get injured and not give a fuck about it, but do your best to not get injured. But you can just tell she was scared. So this is one thing that she can't do. She can't be passive, and she can't be scared, because when she's up against the cage and covers up, that gives Daniel Taylor the time to just fucking body hook, and just fucking treat her abs like fucking tenderized meat, like Rocky Balboa, just beating the shit out of him and softening them. So she can't do that. She needs to move the fuck out of the way. She needs to constantly be moving or constantly be going for fucking takedowns. She cannot be a standing target, which is all I'm saying. When you go to Danielle Taylor's side, who I think can pull the biggest upset of her career and the biggest win of her career, is that she can't be passive. She needs to fucking march down Jessica Penne, and like Jessica Andrade did, and just fucking outbrawl her. Because, once you start marching Jessica Penne down, she sucks at countering. She has no counter strikes at all in her arsenal. So she needs to know that she can't get knocked out. And then another one is that Jessica Penne doesn't get knocked out. So don't expect Jessica Penne to land cold on the canvas. You should expect that the only way you're winning is if the ref steps in. So you need to fucking go after her and just fucking body hook. And if she starts covering up and she starts getting scared, that's when you start going to the head, or fucking take her down and just punch the shit out of her, punch her body, go for the head. This is the only time where she could look for a takedown, if she's already beating the shit out of her, and she could just take her down really quickly and just start fucking ground and pounding her, which I wouldn't even do if I were her, because she's a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but that's a way that she could do it. But I think she just strike, and when she gets when she sees Penne's back on the cage, just unload on her everything you got. That's one of her keys to victories. Another key is to fucking stop just throwing your overhand right. This is all you do the whole fight. Jab, jab, overhand, jab, jab, overhand, jab, jab, overhand, jab, jab, overhand. That's all you fucking do. And Jessica Penne has Eric Del Fierro, one of the most underrated MMA coaches in the game, who studies just as much as Dominic Cruz and is just as analytical as Dominic Cruz. So he knows how many times you throw that fucking overhand and what time and during what combinations you throw that overhand. And she's gonna have Jessica Penne trying to slip your overhand. That's all he probably worked with her in the camp. So you need to fucking stop throwing your overhand right all the time and fucking pick a different punch. Use variety of punches. Use variety. You need variety in your life to win. Okay? You can't just jab, jab, overhand, jab, jab, overhand. It's like you're so predictable. I watched you for 2 fights and I knew that's all you could do. And I'm not even a coach that analyzes everything. I just fucking watch the fight and I see what I'm watching. Now I'm Eric Del Fierro with the mind like that. He knows exactly what you're going to fucking do. March her down, variety of punches, and just keep going and fucking throw some kicks in there, because Jessica Penne doesn't really block kicks well. Throw some fucking leg kicks, throw some fucking low kicks, and just get her leg fucking where she can't move a lot. And then when she becomes a stationary target, do the whole Jessica Andrade, bam, 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 body, 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 bam, 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 body, body, jab, 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 jab. This is when you start doing the 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, body, 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 and then you go upstairs, and then you eventually will get a TKO of ref stoppage. That's what I think. The more passive you are, the more you let her come to you, the more she's going to bait you into doing the stuff that she wants you to do, because you're not a solid pedigree fighter like Joanna, like Jessica. You're not. So, a pedigree striking fighter, that's what I meant to say. So, one thing and the reason why I'm saying that you need more variety is because you look at your previous fight with Soy Hoi Ham, who you won on split decision. Soy Hoi Ham kept slipping your right overhand and countering with her left. And when you saw that Soy Hoi Ham can take your overhand right, you can see it. You can see it in your eyes. You look shocked, like, fuck, I'm gonna need something else to win. And yes, against Jessica Penne, you will probably be able to take your best punch. So you need to have a different variety, and you need to fucking be unpredictable. It's just the easiest way to think about. The betting odds are Jessica Penne is favored -145 to Taylor's 125 plus 125. I honestly think if you're a betting man, you bet Daniel Taylor, because you don't know where the fuck Jessica Penne is coming. The last 2 fights, she hasn't looked great. Jessica Andrade was the smaller fighter and beat the hell out of fucking Jessica Penne. Danielle Taylor is a small fighter with an overhand. I mean, not kind of like Andrade, but I mean, Andrade is way better at her Muay Thai compared to Taylor. But I mean, Taylor, all she does is throw hands and kicks. So, I mean, Penne gets scared, and Penne gets a little shocked that when she starts seeing a bunch of high volumes of strikes and she backs up to a corner. Danielle Taylor can be that person that fucking shows her a lot of strikes, and she can get scared and shocked and go into put her fence up against the cage. Put her back up against the cage and just cover up. And if she does that, it's over. So I think if you're a betting man, you bet with Danielle Taylor, thinking that she could win. I'm in my opinion, I think Jessica Penne wins if she comes out solid, and how I think she will come out solid and not be scared, and comes out ready to fight. I think Jessica Penne wins by submission. But then again, I'm counting on a lot for Jessica Penne to win, and I'm also biased because she trained at the old gym that I used to train at. So it's just I don't know what I'm getting with Jessica Penne, but I know what I'm getting with Danielle Taylor most of the time, which is just a striker that's a little bit passive. But I think, but she's won fights being passive and being a dominant striker, and has KO'd people. Jessica Penne never KO'd anyone, I believe, in her fighting career. And on top of that, I'm betting on her to change her passive way of always fighting passively to be aggressive to win. Whereas Danielle Taylor can still win being a passive fighter because she can just outbox Jessica Penne. So, and then I'm also banking on the fact that Jessica Penne has gotten stronger and has gotten more weight on her ever since her last 2 fights. So that's also another thing that I'm banking on. So I have to hope that Penne comes out the best Penne that she can to beat Danielle Taylor. Whereas I feel like Danielle Taylor can beat her. She doesn't have to come in at her best. She can come in at 80, 60, or be a little bit passive, and she can still win. So that's my opinion, though. I think Jessica Penne is a better overall fighter than Danielle Taylor, but I still think Penne is in that mindset of fuck. She's it's like Ronda Rousey coming back. I don't want to compare her to Ronda Rousey because she's a lot more. She has a lot more. She has more more pedigree than Ronda Rousey. Because Ronda Rousey was an Olympian, so you can't take that away from her, and a UFC champ. So, but it's kind of like Ronda's coming back. Where's her mindset? Where's that? That's the same thing I think about Penne. Where's her mindset? Is she going to be aggressive? Is she going to be passive? Is she still going to think about getting injured? It's like all those things take into factor when fighting her. And that's the only reason why I'm making a long video about her, is because I used to train with her. And if you're a betting man, you take these odds with against Penne. You go with Danielle Taylor. So that's really one of the biggest reasons why I'm giving such a big breakdown on her. And I hope she wins, but we'll all see. Tell me what you think. If you don't, a lot of people don't just think Jessica Penne's done, and I couldn't argue with you on that. So tell me what you think. I'm hoping she gets a win, but realistically, probably not gonna happen. But we'll see. Yeah, man, just tell me what you think, and I'm always reading the comments, or always trying to see comments. So comment away.